Welcome race fans to Canyon Speedway, the home of the Nevada Diecast Racing Channel. Today the NDCR presents qualifying heat number 2 of the American Muscle Car event. Heat 1 turned out to be a tale of two opposites, DNFs galore and fiery crashes. We had thought that this track might have been a little too much for these mostly stock American classics, and it did prove to be true for a couple of cars. However, two cars prevailed, and you can see them here down below the broadcast tower. A 1969 Cobra Corvette and a 1968 Cobra Camaro. These cars will face off against the top two finishers of today's event in the finals of the American Muscle Car event. Let's head on down to meet today's competitors. Okay, the first car in today's lineup is a beautiful bronze Oldsmobile 442. That's a 400 cubic inch engine, 4-barrel carburetor, and dual exhaust. I'm curious to see how this will do on our track today. Next up is this Mustang GT500 Fastback. It's loaded with a 428 cubic inch engine and a 4-speed manual transmission. This is one to keep your eye on. Our next car is a 1968 Plymouth Barracuda Formula S. We had one like this last week and they didn't fare too well. Hopefully it'll go better for this car. And our final car is a 1969 Cobra Corvette. Again, we had one like this last week and that one exploded. That said, it did make it to the final. So it'll be interesting to see how this car is going to do today. Just one more thing before we get started. We have some news from the Bigfoot Museum. Evidently, a Bigfoot showed up during our first two events and was actually caught on film. So head on over to that Bigfoot Museum to see this new footage and keep an eye out for the creature. If you see anything, please let us or the museum know. As always, we appreciate the Bigfoot Museum for their support. The Bigfoot Museum since 1934. Alright everybody, it's about time for race time. So let's head up to the starting line for qualifying heat number 2 of the NDCR
American Muscle Car event.
Alright, let's get things started with race 1. We've got the Mustang and the Barracuda up front. See the 442's making a move and already mayhem on the track. The Corvette and the Mustang ending up on the roof. Yeah, let's take a look at that replay. Coming into that first turn, everybody's looking good. And as the Oldsmobile 442 starts to pass that Barracuda, he pummels that Mustang. Rounds that last turn, the Corvette's upside down, gets flipped by the 442 as he goes by, and the Barracuda smashes into the side of the vet as well. These Corvettes don't seem to fare well on this track. If you remember the first heat of this event last week, the Corvette exploded. So the old 442 gets 5 points for winning that race, and the other three cars get 0 for their DNF. Alright, let's get race 2 started. Barracuda and the Corvette up in front, and the 442 makes another excellent pass to take first place on this race. I'm not sure what happened to the Corvette there. Let's take a look at the replay. Off the line, the Barracuda out in front. Corvette comes up, and he's looking good. But look at that 442 passing both the Barracuda and the Corvette to come to take that first place position. Mustang gets hung up on those rocks, but manages to get free. And meanwhile, everybody else is speeding toward the finish line, coming around that last turn. Goodness gracious, the Corvette is flipped over again on its roof. And that prevents the back two cars, that Barracuda and the Mustang, from finishing. However, there it is, the Oldsmobile 442 cruising easily into its second win. It gets them 5 points, and the other three get a combined score of a big fat 0. Let's move on to race 3. Corvette and the 442 in the front. Corvette spins around but manages to regain control and actually is going to finish a race. Again, the Oldsmobile took first place. Let's check out the replay. .442 just punches it coming out of that first turn. Hey, there's the Barracuda. Lagging behind and actually going to pull up and stop to check out last week's winners. Meanwhile, all the other races are headed for the finish line. And here they come. You've got the Oldsmobile in first place, followed by that Corvette. And the Mustang pulling up in third place. So another 5 for the 442, 3 for the Corvette, 2 for the Mustang, and another DNF for the Barracuda. I'll tell you what, no one's going to catch the 442. Let's see if he can do a clean sweep and get 4 wins in a row. He's pulling out front. It looks like, oh, he's got it in the bag. Takes 4 wins in a row in this second heat. Unbelievable. Let's find out what happened to that Corvette because he didn't show up at the finish line. He's probably on his roof. Let's check out the replay. That 442 just blazing ahead of that pack. Corvette's trying to get into second place. Gets a little tangled up as that Mustang blocks him. And yes, he flips over on his roof and slides to a stop as the Barracuda pauses to check him out. That Oldsmobile 442 taking a 4th win in a row, followed by the Mustang in second place. And unfortunately, that Barracuda driver seems a little preoccupied today, because this time he pulls up in front of the Bigfoot Museum to check out those beautiful classic racers. Let's go back up and check on that Corvette. Seems to be okay. The driver's out of the car. And, you know, at least there's no fire like that Cobra Corvette just above it. And the last week that one exploded, so good thing. Hey, no explosion, so that's good. Never mind. So in our last and final race, we have the old 442 coming in first place. He gets 5 points, followed by the Mustang with 3. The Barracuda and the Corvette get 0 points. So the old 442 is our winner today with a perfect score of 20 points, followed by the GT500 with 5. There are 2 winners there moving forward to the finals, and we're competing against the winners from last week. Make sure you join us for the next event. It is the final of the American Muscle Car event here at the NDCR. As always, we do appreciate you checking out this video. And please subscribe if you haven't, and share the video with your friends if you think they'll like it too. And here at the NDCR, we will always endeavor to improve our video production quality. Thank you again for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time on the track. I'm Miles Grant, and I'm an adult.